Dance this and I'll give you $100 million. Marcus Blackwell laughed, his voice echoing through the marble ballroom. He pointed at Maya, the young woman in the maid's uniform. Go ahead, little girl. Show us what you've got. The crystal chandelier above cast harsh shadows across Maya's face. Her cleaning bucket sat forgotten by her feet. 50 wealthy guests turned to stare. Their champagne glasses caught the light like weapons. Maya's hands trembled. Not from fear, from rage. Stick till the end. At 80%, there's a reveal you won't see coming. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories like this. The Blackwell mansion buzzed with the city's elite. Maya Chen moved through the crowd like a ghost. She wiped down tables, emptied ashtrays, picked up dropped napkins. Nobody looked at her twice, she was just the help. The maid's daughter. 22 years old and invisible, Maya had been working these events since she turned 18. Her mother, Lynn, had cleaned for the Blackwell family for 15 years. When Lynn got sick, Maya took her place. The money paid for her mother's medicine. It kept food on their table, but tonight felt different. Tonight felt dangerous. Marcus Blackwell owned half the city. Tech companies, real estate, oil. His net worth hit the news every week. New billion, new deal, new victory. He stood near the bar, surrounded by admirers. His silver suit cost more than Maya's yearly salary. His watch caught the light every time he gestured. The youth today have no discipline, Marcus said to his circle. No respect, no real talent. Maya scrubbed a wine stain from the marble floor. She kept her head down, kept working. They think they deserve everything, Marcus continued, without earning it, without proving themselves. A woman in pearls nodded. So true, they lack substance, Maya's jaw tightened. She'd been earning her way since she was 16, working weekends, saving every dollar, studying dance in secret, but they wouldn't know that. They only saw the uniform. The evening dragged on. Maya refilled champagne glasses. She served canapes from silver trays. Her feet ached in the cheap black shoes. At midnight, the guests gathered for entertainment. A jazz band played smooth melodies. A magician made coins disappear. Then Marcus took the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, his voice boomed. I have a special challenge tonight. The crowd quieted. All eyes turned to their host. Marcus smiled. It wasn't a kind smile. I'm feeling generous. Let's have some fun. He walked to the center of the ballroom. His shoes clicked on marble. Each step echoed. I'll give $100 million, he announced, to anyone who can dance to this music. The guests laughed. Easy money, they thought. Marcus held up his hand. But there's a catch. Of course there was. You have to dance to this. He nodded to the band. The jazz stopped. A new song began. Maya's blood turned to ice. The music was complex, layered, traditional Chinese opera mixed with modern beats. Ancient rhythms bleeding into hip-hop. It was impossible to follow. Impossible to predict. Any volunteers? Marcus asked. A few brave souls tried. A businessman attempted a waltz. The music shifted. He stumbled, gave up. A socialite tried modern dance. The tempo changed. She lost the beat, stopped. Marcus laughed each time. Harder than it looks, isn't it? Maya continued cleaning. But she was listening. Really listening. The music told a story. She could hear it. The struggle, the pain, the hope beneath the chaos. Her grandmother used to play songs like this. Old country melodies. Stories of hardship and dreams. This is pointless, someone said. Nobody can dance to that noise, Marcus nodded. Exactly. It's impossible unless... His eyes scanned the room. They landed on Maya. Unless we ask someone with nothing to lose. Maya's heart stopped. Marcus walked toward her. His smile grew wider, more cruel. You, he said, pointing. Maid girl. Come here. The room fell silent. 50 pairs of eyes turned to Maya. Some curious, some amused. All waiting, Maya straightened. She set down her cleaning cloth. What's your name? Marcus asked. Maya, she said quietly. Maya. He rolled the name around his tongue. Tell me, Maya, do you dance? The question hung in the air. Heavy, loaded. Maya could lie. Say no, go back to cleaning. But something in his tone stopped her. Something mocking. Something that reminded her of every person who'd ever looked through her. Every person who'd ever treated her like furniture. Sometimes, she said. The crowd chuckled. Marcus grinned. Sometimes. He turned to his guests. She dances sometimes, more laughter. Maya's face burned. But she didn't look away. Marcus turned back to her. Well then, here's your chance. He gestured to the empty dance floor. The music still played, still shifted, still challenged. Dance to this music, he said. Really dance. Make it look good. And I'll give you $100 million. The crowd erupted in laughter. The number was absurd. The challenge impossible. Maya stood frozen. Her cleaning bucket beside her. Her uniform wrinkled from hours of work. Go on, Marcus encouraged. Show us what the help can do. Something snapped inside Maya, some careful restraint she'd maintained for years. She thought of her mother, lying in the hospital bed, worrying about bills, about the future. She thought of every rich person who'd never learned her name, every party where she'd been invisible. She thought of the dance studio downtown, the one where she trained in secret, the place where she was more than a maid's daughter. Maya took a step forward. You're serious? She asked. Marcus spread his arms wide. Dead serious. $100 million. If you can really dance to this music. He leaned closer. His voice dropped to a whisper. But when you fail, he said, when you embarrass yourself in front of everyone, you're fired. Your mother, too. Understand? Maya's hands clenched into fists. The stakes just got real. She looked at the dance floor, empty, waiting. She looked at the crowd, rich faces, expectant smiles. They wanted to see her fail. She looked at Marcus, his confident smirk, his certainty that she would crumble. Maya walked to the center of the room. The marble felt cold through her thin shoes. The chandelier cast long shadows. The music swirled around her like a living thing. She closed her eyes, listened. The song had layers. Beneath the chaos, there was structure. Beneath the noise, there was meaning. Her grandmother's voice echoed in her memory. Every song tells a story, little one. You just have to listen. Maya opened her eyes. The crowd was watching, waiting. Some already reaching for their phones to record her humiliation. Marcus stood with his arms crossed. His expression said it all. This was entertainment. A poor girl's public failure. But as Maya stood there, something shifted in the room. The music seemed to slow. The light seemed to dim. And for the first time all night, Maya smiled. She raised her arms. The first movement came naturally. A simple step. Nothing fancy. Just following the beat. But there was something different about how she moved. Something that made the chatter stop. Maya's body found the rhythm beneath the chaos. Her grandmother had taught her this. To listen past the surface. To find the heart of the music. She took another step. Then another. The crowd watched in silence now. The laughter had died. Maya moved like water, like wind. Like something beyond their understanding. She wasn't dancing to the music anymore, she was dancing with it. The song shifted. Changed tempo. Most dancers would stumble here. Maya shifted with it, seamlessly, like she'd known the change was coming. Marcus's smile faded. Maya spun. Her uniform twirled around her. Her cheap shoes slapped against marble. But none of that mattered now. She was flying. The music told its story. Pain, struggle, loss, and Maya danced every word. Her movements spoke of long nights working, of dreams deferred, of hope carried in secret. The crowd was mesmerized. They'd never seen anything like this. Maya leaped, landed softly, flowed into the next sequence. Years of secret practice showed in every gesture, every turn, every breath she'd trained at dawn before work. Practiced in empty hallways during breaks. Studied videos on her cracked phone screen, all for moments like this. The music built to a crescendo. Maya built with it. She moved like someone born to this, like the music was part of her DNA. Marcus stepped forward. His face had gone pale. This wasn't supposed to happen. The maid's daughter wasn't supposed to be gifted. Wasn't supposed to be trained. Wasn't supposed to make him look like a fool. But Maya was all of those things, and she was just getting started. The song reached its peak. Maya reached hers. She executed a perfect grand jeté, followed by a spin that defied physics, landed in a pose that took the room's breath away. Silence, complete. Total. Silence. 50 wealthy guests stood frozen. Their drinks forgotten. Their conversations died. Maya straightened, Her chest rose and fell with deep breaths. Her eyes found Marcus. How was that? She asked. Marcus stared. His mouth opened, closed. No words came. Someone in the crowd started clapping. Slow, deliberate, others joined. The applause built, grew, became thunderous. Maya had done the impossible. She'd danced to undanceable music. She'd made it look effortless. She'd made Marcus Blackwell look like a fool. But this was only the beginning, because Maya had a secret, one that would change everything. One that would make this night legendary. The applause continued. Maya stood in the center of it all, no longer invisible, no longer just the help. For the first time in her life, she was seen, really seen. But Maya wasn't done yet. She had more to show them, so much more. The music faded. The crowd's cheers echoed off marble walls. Maya looked at Marcus. His confident smirk was gone, replaced by something else. Fear. So, Maya said, her voice carrying across the silent room. About that $100 million, Marcus's world was about to change. He just didn't know how much, because Maya Chen, the invisible maid's daughter, had been hiding something all along, something that would shock everyone in that room, something that would make Marcus Blackwell question everything he thought he knew about power, about talent, about the girl he'd just tried to humiliate. The night was far from, and Maya was far from done. Marcus's face turned red. The applause died down. Reality hit him like cold water. He'd just been shown up by a maid in front of 50 of the city's most powerful people. His reputation was crumbling with every second of silence. Impressive, he said finally. His voice was tight, controlled. Very impressive. Maya waited. She knew that tone. The calm before the storm. But, Marcus continued, one dance doesn't make you worth $100 million, the crowd murmured. Some nodded. Others frowned. Maya felt the shift. The room's energy changing. Marcus was taking control back. Anyone can memorize a routine, he said louder. Anyone can practice in secret. Real dancers adapt, improvise, create. He walked closer to Maya. His shoes clicked on marble. So here's what we'll do, Marcus announced. 3 more songs. 3 different styles. No preparation. No practice time. Right here. Right now. Maya's stomach dropped. 3 more dances. Back to back. With no rest. If you can handle all 3, Marcus said, the money is yours. But if you fail even once. He let the threat hang in the air. Maya's legs already ached from the first dance. Her cheap shoes rubbed against her heels. Her uniform stuck to her skin with sweat. But she thought of her mother. The hospital bills. The uncertain future. Deal, she said. Marcus smiled. It wasn't pleasant. Wonderful. He turned to the band. Something classical first. Tchaikovsky, Swan Lake. The familiar notes filled the ballroom. Elegant, demanding, precise. Maya had trained in ballet. But not like this. Not in work clothes. Not exhausted, she closed her eyes. Found her center. The music called to her. Soft at first. Then insistent, Maya rose onto her toes. The move looked effortless. But her cheap shoes weren't made for point work. Pain shot through her feet. She ignored it. The dance began. Classical ballet required perfection. Every line clean. Every movement controlled. Maya flowed through the opening sequence. Her arms traced perfect arcs. Her legs extended in flawless lines. The crowd watched in amazement. This was different from before. More refined. More technically perfect. But Maya could feel the strain. Her shoes were tearing. Her feet were bleeding. She didn't stop. The music swelled. Maya leaped, spun, landed with impossible grace. Each movement told Swan Lake's story. Beauty, tragedy, love lost. Maya became the swan, proud, graceful, doomed. The audience was captivated. Even Marcus looked impressed. But Maya knew the hardest part was coming. The final sequence. 32 consecutive turns. The most challenging move in all of ballet. Most professionals struggled with it. Maya was dancing in a maid's uniform. The music built. This was it. Maya began to spin 1, 2, 3, 4. Her feet found their rhythm. Her body became a blur. 10, 15, 20. The crowd held its breath. 25, 28, 30. Maya's vision blurred. The room spun around her. 31. Her ankle twisted. Pain exploded up her leg. 32, Maya completed the final turn. Landed in perfect fifth position, the music ended. Silence, then thunderous applause. Maya smiled through the agony. 1 down, 2 to go. But her ankle was definitely sprained. Maybe worse. Marcus noticed her slight limp as she walked back to center. Feeling tired? He asked sweetly. Maya straightened. What's next? Marcus's eyes glittered. Something more modern, hip-hop, street style. The band was replaced by a DJ. Heavy beats filled the room. This was Maya's strongest style. She'd grown up with this music, but her ankle throbbed with every heartbeat. No classical technique will help you here, Marcus said. This is about raw talent, street credibility. He looked at her uniform, her proper posture, her ballet training. Something tells me you don't have much of that. The music started. Aggressive, demanding, unforgiving. Maya let the beat sink into her bones. Hip-hop wasn't about perfection. It was about truth, about struggle, about fighting back. Maya knew all about fighting back. She started with simple isolations, shoulders, ribs, hips. The movements were sharp, controlled, nothing like the flowing ballet. She popped, locked, let the music dictate her body. The crowd was surprised. This was a completely different dancer. Gone was the ethereal swan. In her place stood something fierce, something real. Maya hit every beat, every accent. Every pause, she told her story through movement. Growing up poor, working multiple jobs, fighting for every opportunity. The hip-hop community would have recognized the narrative, the struggle, the refusal to quit. Maya battled imaginary opponents, through combinations that would make street dancers weep. Her sprained ankle screamed in protest. She danced anyway, because this wasn't just about money anymore. This was about respect, about being seen, about proving that talent didn't care about your address. The music reached its climax. Maya threw everything she had left. She windmilled, froze, battled the beat into submission. The final note hit. Maya stood center stage, sweat dripping, chest heaving, but victorious. The crowd erupted. Even some of Marcus's friends were cheering. 2 down, 1 to go. Maya limped back to position. Her ankle was on fire. Her uniform was soaked, but her eyes burned with determination. Marcus wasn't smiling anymore. His easy victory was slipping away. Last dance, he said. His voice had an edge now. What style? Maya asked. Marcus paused. Thinking, scheming. Contemporary, he said finally. Emotional, abstract. The lights dimmed. A single spotlight found Maya. Soft piano music began, melancholy, haunting. Contemporary dance was about feeling, about vulnerability, about truth. Maya had plenty of truth to share. She began slowly. Every movement weighted with meaning. This dance was her life story. Her mother's illness. Their struggle. Their love. Maya moved like heartbreak, like hope, like someone who'd lost everything and found it again. The crowd was mesmerized. This wasn't entertainment anymore. This was art. Maya flowed across the marble. Her movements liquid, painful, beautiful. She danced her mother's first job in America, cleaning houses. Working nights, she danced her own childhood. Watching her mother's hands crack from harsh chemicals, she danced their dreams, the ones they whispered about in their tiny apartment. The music swelled. Maya's emotions poured out. Years of being invisible, of being overlooked, of being underestimated, all of it channeled into movement. The crowd was crying. Actually crying, even Marcus looked affected. Maya reached the climax. Her body told the story of breaking, of rebuilding, of refusing to surrender. The music faded to silence. Maya stood in the spotlight, tears on her cheeks, but standing, always standing. The applause was different this time, deeper, more respectful. Maya had done it. 3 impossible dances, 3 different worlds mastered. Marcus stared at her, his expression unreadable. Well? Maya asked. Do I get the money? The room held its breath. Marcus walked closer. His footsteps echoed. You dance beautifully, he said quietly. Maya waited. But, Marcus continued, there's something you should know. Here it comes, Maya thought. The catch. The betrayal. That $100 million. Marcus smiled. It was never real, the crowd gasped. Maya's heart sank. You see, Marcus explained, I don't carry that kind of cash to parties. The whole thing was a joke. Entertainment for my guests. Maya felt the world tilt. She'd pushed her body to its limits, bled for this moment for nothing. However, Marcus said, I am impressed, so I'll tell you what. He reached into his jacket, pulled out a business card. I know people in the dance world. I could make some calls. Get you auditions. He held out the card. Like a treat for a performing dog. Maya stared at it, at him, at the crowd watching her humiliation. Auditions, she repeated. Yes, a chance to prove yourself. In the real world. Isn't that what you want? Maya looked at the card. Then at Marcus. Then at the crowd of rich faces, all of them waiting, to see how the poor girl would react. Whether she'd be grateful for scraps. Whether she'd bow and scrape and thank them for the opportunity. Maya smiled, but it wasn't the smile they expected. Keep your card, she said. She turned to face the crowd, all 50 of them, and keep your auditions. Maya reached into her uniform pocket, pulled out her phone. Because there's something you all should know. Her fingers moved across the screen, finding a contact. Maya, Marcus asked. What are you doing? Maya hit call, put the phone to her ear. Hi, Mom, she said loudly. It's time. The crowd looked confused. Marcus frowned. Mom, tell them who you are. Maya held out the phone, put it on speaker. An older woman's voice filled the ballroom. Hello, Lin Chen said in accented English. I am Lin Chen. I own Chen Entertainment, the crowd murmured. That name was familiar. Chen Entertainment, Lin continued, is the largest dance company in Asia. We produce shows in 12 countries. Our annual revenue is $3 billion. Maya smiled wider. I came to America 20 years ago, Lin said, not as a refugee, as a scout, looking for American talent to bring to our stages. The crowd was stunned. Marcus went pale. I took a job as a maid to observe the wealthy families, to see how they treated their workers, to judge their character. Maya looked directly at Marcus. Very few passed that test. Lin's voice continued. My daughter has been training since she was 3. She speaks 5 languages. She's performed for presidents and prime ministers. Maya took the phone back. Thanks, Mom. I'll be home soon. She hung up. The silence was deafening. Maya. Chen wasn't the maid's daughter. She was the billionaire's daughter, and Marcus Blackwell had just tried to humiliate one of the most powerful young women in the entertainment industry. The tables had completely turned, but Maya wasn't done with her revelations yet, because the biggest surprise was still coming, and when it hit, it would change everything Marcus thought he knew about power, respect, and the price of cruelty. The real show was about to begin. The ballroom erupted in whispers. Phone cameras appeared. Everyone wanted proof of what they'd just witnessed. Marcus Blackwell, humiliated by a billionaire in disguise. Maya watched his face change. Confusion, disbelief, then something darker. Rage. You're lying, he said. His voice shook. This is some elaborate con. Maya pulled out her phone again, opened her banking app. The screen showed her account balance. Multiple commas, multiple zeros, more money than Marcus made in a year. She held it up for everyone to see. Gasps filled the room. Phones clicked photos. Still think I'm lying? Maya asked. Marcus grabbed for her phone. Maya pulled it back. Don't touch what isn't yours, she said calmly. The words hit him like a slap. His own phrase. Thrown back at him, Maya looked around the room, at faces she recognized from business magazines. Society pages, news reports. You want to know the truth? She asked the crowd. They leaned in, hungry for the story. My mother and I have been investigating American business families for 2 years. Maya limped to the center of the room. Her ankle throbbed, but she ignored it. We wanted partners, people who shared our values, kindness, respect, integrity. She looked directly at Marcus. We found very few. Maya pulled out a small recording device, no bigger than a matchbox. Everything that happened tonight was recorded. Marcus went white. You can't what? Maya interrupted. Can't expose how you treat working people? Can't show the world who you really are? She pressed play. Marcus's voice filled the room. Dance this and I'll give you $100 million. Go ahead, little girl. Show us what you've got. Then, when you fail, when you embarrass yourself, you're fired. Your mother too. The crowd shifted uncomfortably. They'd laughed at those words earlier. Now they sounded cruel, vicious. Maya stopped the recording. This goes viral in about 5 minutes, she said. Unless, Marcus stepped forward. Unless what? Unless you make this right. Maya looked around the room, at all the wealthy faces watching the drama unfold. Everyone here heard you promise $100 million. You made it a public bet. It was a joke, Marcus started. Contracts don't care about jokes, Maya said. Witnesses don't care about your intentions. A man in the crowd spoke up. She's right. I'm a lawyer. That was a binding oral contract, another voice. I recorded it too, for my social media. Marcus realized his situation. 50 witnesses. Multiple recordings. A billionaire opponent with unlimited legal resources. What do you want? He asked quietly. Maya smiled. But this time it was kind. I want you to honor your bet. $100 million. But not to me. The crowd looked confused. To charity, Maya continued. Split between 3 organizations. Scholarship funds for underprivileged dancers. Health care for service workers. Housing assistance for immigrant families. Marcus stared. That's my entire liquid net worth. Then you shouldn't have made bets you couldn't afford. Maya walked closer. Her voice dropped to a whisper only he could hear. This is your choice, Marcus. Pay the bet publicly. Look generous. Or fight it in court while the recordings go viral. She paused. How long do you think your business relationships will last when people see how you treat workers? Marcus looked around the room. At his guests. His partners. His investors. They were all watching. All recording. All judging. He thought about his board of directors. His stock price. His reputation. Maya was right. Fighting this would destroy him. Fine, he said loudly. I'll honor the bet. The crowd applauded. But Maya held up her hand. There's more. She turned to address everyone. Mr. Blackwell also needs to apologize. To every service worker he's ever disrespected. Maya gestured around the room. Starting with the staff here tonight. Marcus's jaw clenched. You want me to apologize? To the help? The word help hung in the air like poison. Maya's eyes hardened. To the human beings who make your life possible? Yes. She looked at the waiters, the musicians, the cleaning crew. These people have names, stories, dreams. They deserve your respect. Maya turned back to Marcus. So apologize. Sincerely. Or I release everything. Marcus looked around desperately, looking for support. For allies, he found none. His guests avoided eye contact. They knew which way the wind was blowing. Maya held all the power now. I'm sorry, Marcus said quietly. Louder, Maya commanded. I'm sorry, he repeated. His voice carried across the room. For treating you poorly, for not seeing your humanity. The service staff looked shocked. Some nodded acceptance. Maya wasn't done. And? Marcus looked confused. You owe someone else an apology, Maya said. Someone very important. She pulled out her phone again. Dialed a number. Hi, Mom. Can you come up? There's someone who wants to apologize. Minutes later, Lin Chen entered the ballroom. She moved with quiet dignity. Designer clothes now, not a maid's uniform. The crowd recognized her from business magazines. Forbes covers, financial news. Lin Chen, media empire owner, entertainment mogul, one of the richest women in Asia. She walked straight to Marcus. Mr. Blackwell, she said politely. You wanted to speak with me? Marcus looked at this woman he'd ignored for years. Dismissed. Treated like furniture. Now she stood before him as an equal. More than equal. I'm sorry, he stammered. For not treating you with respect. Lin nodded graciously. Apology accepted. But I have something for you. She handed him an envelope. Marcus opened it with shaking hands. Inside was a contract. Partnership agreement. Worth hundreds of millions. We were considering your company for our American expansion, Lin said. The entertainment complex. The international deals. Marcus's eyes went wide. This was bigger than anything he'd ever imagined. Were? He asked. Lin smiled sadly. Your treatment of workers was concerning. We couldn't partner with someone who doesn't share our values. She gestured to the contract. That's the deal you lost tonight. By being cruel to my daughter. Marcus stared at the numbers. Billions, multiple billions, all lost because he couldn't treat people with basic dignity. However, Lynn continued, people can change, grow, learn. She looked at her daughter. Maya nodded. Honor your bet. Make those donations. Treat your workers better. And maybe we can discuss business in a year. Lynn turned to leave, then stopped. Oh, and Marcus. He looked up hopefully. My daughter's performance tonight, that wasn't her best work. Lynn smiled proudly. She was holding back. Being polite, Maya grinned. Mom's right. I didn't want to show off. She looked at Marcus one final time. Real power isn't about how you treat your equals. It's about how you treat those who can't fight back. The words echoed in the marble ballroom. Maya took her mother's arm. Together they walked toward the exit. The crowd parted like water. 50 of the city's most powerful people watched a maid and her daughter leave. No, not a maid and her daughter. 2 of the most successful women in the entertainment industry who'd just taught them all a lesson about respect. At the door, Maya turned back. Mr. Blackwell. Marcus looked up from the contract he'd lost. The recording goes live if those donations aren't made by tomorrow. All 3 charities. Full amount. She smiled sweetly. Just so we're clear. Then Maya and Lynn were gone. The ballroom buzzed with conversation. Everyone had opinions, stories, theories, but Marcus just sat in his expensive suit, staring at the contract that could have changed everything. He'd learned the hardest lesson of his life. Kindness costs nothing, but cruelty can cost everything. The next morning, news broke worldwide. Billionaire, humiliated by undercover heiress. The 100 million dance. Challenge. Secret recording exposes. Elite's treatment of workers. Marcus honored his bet. $100 million to charity. The donations were public, well documented, impossible to fake. His reputation slowly began to recover, but it took years. Maya and Lynn's entertainment empire expanded into America. They partnered with other companies that treated workers with respect. Marcus's business wasn't one of them. Maya continued dancing, but now on stages worldwide, she never forgot the lesson of that night. True strength comes from lifting others up, not tearing them down. The ballroom where it all happened became famous. Tour groups visited. They called it the room where kindness won. Maya liked that name because in the end that's what the night was really about. Not money, not revenge, not power, but the simple truth that everyone deserves. Dignity. Everyone deserves respect. Everyone deserves to be seen. Maya made sure they were, and the world became a little bit kinder because of it. The end. If this story touched your heart, hit that subscribe button for more inspiring tales of justice and triumph. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done in Maya's position? Would you have shown mercy or demanded justice? Your thoughts matter, and I read every single comment. Thanks for watching, and remember, true power comes from how we treat those who need our kindness most.